Are you ready for the ultimate shift in the housing market? Brace yourselves as we unveil the exciting forecast for 2024. Redfin predicts 2024 will be the year homebuyers catch a break, with home prices falling and new listings rising. Listings will rise and prices and rates will fall. But high housing costs will remain a problem for young families, which will increase demand for large rentals and force President Biden to make affordability a cornerstone of his re-election. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. Do me a favor, if you get any value out of my video at all, please go ahead and smash that like button below and subscribe. It really helps me and my channel and the algorithm. So guys, with any further ado, let's get started to share this information with you, and I'm really excited. Let's check it out. Okay guys, Redfin goes on to say, we're starting to see signs of a shift towards a buyer's market as pandemic-driven inflation takes its last gasp. Mortgage rates come down and more people list their homes for sale. We expect to see these trends continue in the new year, ushering in a season of new hope for aspiring home buyers. And they also go on to say, and there's more reason to be optimistic about 2024, when we expect to see an acceleration of consumer-friendly changes to the way Americans buy and sell homes. All right, let's get down here to prediction one, that home prices will fall 1%. Nationally, prices will fall 1% year over year in the second and third quarters when the home selling season is in full swing. That will mark the first time prices have declined since 2012, when the housing market was recovering from the Great Recession, with the exception of a brief period in the first half of 2023. Now, that is a favorable shift for buyers. Prices are ending 2023 up around 3% year over year, and the typical home buyer's monthly payment is only about $150 shy of its all-time high. Home prices will still be out of reach for many Americans, but any break in the affordability crisis is a welcome development nonetheless. Now, that might be a favorable shift for buyers overall, but it could have an adverse effect. If every buyer started bidding back on homes again, it could cause housing to get even more expensive down the road. This is a quandary that we are in right now, and that's what was going on in 2021. Because of the high prices and the high rates, this is where we end up. So yes, it would be very nice for rates to come down to make things more affordable for families and individuals to buy a house. However, I personally believe, I really do fear, it would have an adverse effect across the board and cause another round of multiple bids, ultimately causing the prices of housing to go up even higher, which could end up being a bigger problem. If anybody can relate to that, please make a comment below. I'd like to hear what you have to say about that. And let's see what their next prediction says down here. Okay, let's scroll down to the second prediction right here. They're saying that new listings will tick up. And they do go on to say here, it says, I quote, listings will climb from 2023's record low as the mortgage rate lock-in effect eases. Nearly all mortgaged homeowners have a rate below the current level. Many are starting to accept that we won't see rates in the 3s or 4s anytime soon, and that they want to sell before home prices do fall. Redfin reports that homeowners in places like South Florida, where prices have soared the last few years, are deciding to cash out on their equity and move to more affordable areas. I gotta say, personally, I don't see rates returning to the 3 or 4% rates anytime soon. And I gotta say, I doubt we will ever probably see that again, or at least for extremely very long time. It's very interesting to see that they throw these numbers around in some of these reports. 3 and 4% interest rates, those days are just over. Way over. And down here to the third prediction, it says home sales will increase and end the year up 5%. In the first quarter, existing home sales will be on pace for 4.1 million total in 2024, up from an annual pace of 3.85 million in the fourth quarter of 2023. Sales will continue rising throughout the year. They'll be on pace for a total of 4.5 million by the fourth quarter. Home sales will speed up throughout 2024 as affordability improves and more homes hit the market. Overall, we expect 4.3 million in sales in 2024, up 5% year over year. A crucial difference between 2024 and 2023 will be sales gaining momentum throughout the year instead of losing momentum. And I stress again, this is a very national outlook. This by no means is probably going to be the case here in Southern California, Orange County, San Diego County. This is more along the lines and other markets. Again, when they do these predictions and they do these housing forecasts, it's on a national level. So I just want to point that out right now. Of course, here in Orange County, Southern California, things could look a little different as far as home affordability here is concerned. It is a huge stretch for many until we get some inventory, some reasonable inventory, not like these little smidgens of things that we've been getting. So until we get that, I don't see housing affordability shifting too much or home prices actually coming down that much at all. And now, guys, let's go down to the fourth prediction. Right here, it's about mortgage rates. Let's see, mortgage rates. Mortgage rates will steadily decline, but still remain above 6%. 6%. They predict that the 30-year average mortgage rate will linger at 7% in the first quarter of 2024, then decline throughout the year. Mortgage rates will fall up to about 6.6 by the end of 24. The gradual decline in rates combined with the small dip in prices will bring home buyers some much needed relief. This again is a national outlook, and I don't know how much this could really change our market again here in Orange County. Again, I like to share everything with you guys, and we have a really transparent idea of what's going on from coast to coast. So that's what I really am trying to achieve here. Let's see. Mortgage rates are really likely to remain well above pandemic era record lows because financial markets increasingly believe that the country will avoid a recession in 2024. The Fed will likely keep the interest rates at their current level at the start of the year, even though inflation is largely under control. Okay, well, I don't know about that, but then we're likely to cut rates 2 or 3 times starting in the summer, which is why mortgage rates will decline as the year goes on. Okay, so let's jump down to the next prediction they have about rent. It says renting will lose its stigma, okay? Demand for large rental apartments and houses will climb as more young families embrace the renter lifestyle. We're already seeing signs that young Americans are redefining the American dream. Nearly 1 in 5 millennials who responded to a 2023 housing survey believe that they will never own a home. For some, renting is not a choice. Nearly half of those survey respondents said homes for sale are too expensive, and a similar share said they can't afford to save for a down payment. But others just prefer renting. 12% said that they aren't interested in home ownership, and 7% said they don't want to put in the effort to maintain their own home. With prices so high, buying a home doesn't offer the same financial upside to young millennials and Gen Zers as it did for the baby boomers and the Gen Xers. Now, I can see why some people are starting to prefer renting other than buying. Okay, I understand. It's a philosophy that's a bit newer than older, or a lot of younger Americans might be preferring. They might sway towards the idea of renting other than making a home purchase because of the costs involved, okay? Repairs, upkeep on the property taxes, etc. And maybe a lot of young Americans, these young American generations just don't hold the same philosophies that the baby boomers and the Gen Xers do, okay? They go on to say in the article right here below that we expect prices of large rental units to climb the next year as supply fails to meet demand. However, there will be downward pressure on prices for smaller rentals because there are more of them and a backlog waiting to hit the market. Builders who have focused on building smaller apartment units since around 2019 will start to increase their investment in family-friendly rental units. Very interesting. Okay, let's jump down to the 7th prediction as it says right here. It says Biden has a housing problem, okay, which could hurt his re-election bid, okay? Home prices are up more than 20% since Joe Biden took office. That's a problem for his re-election bid. A recent poll found that 65% of voters disapprove of Biden's handling of the economy with a lack of housing affordability likely a major factor, okay? Even though the overall economy is strong, high housing costs are making many Americans feel poor, and that's especially true for people who don't own a home yet. Even though affordability will become less of a problem in 2024, many Gen Z and millennial voters will be playing financial catch-up for a while, okay? We expect President Biden and his opponents to make a splashy housing policy proposal to try to lure voters who are unhappy with their economic prospects. Democrats are likely to focus on subsidizing down payments for the first time, home buyers, promoting inclusionary zoning, and funding housing vouchers, which are all popular with liberal voters. Republicans are more likely to focus on reducing regulations that limit development. Okay, guys, let's jump down here to the headline on the bottom that states, there's more in store for 2024. What was it going to say down here? It basically says, there's more in store for 2024. Big price declines in coastal Florida, a wave of boomerang migration, and local governments enact policies to improve housing affordability. That's what it goes on to say. And it says prices will fall a lot in some metro areas and rise in others. We expect prices to fall fairly significantly in parts of coastal Florida, including Northport and Cape Coral. That's partly because prices there surged during the pandemic, leaving a lot of room to fall, and partly because increasing risk of climate disasters is making those areas less and less desirable and insurance more expensive. So we're getting that, obviously. And it says prices are likely to rise in affordability metros that are more climate resilient than a place like coastal Florida, such as Albany, New York, Rochester, New York, and Grand Rapids, Michigan. Okay? Then it goes on to say down below, people will decide where they want to live based on in-office policies, what your employer wants you to do. Come on back to the office. And climate risk and affordability concerns. There will be a wave of boomerang migration where remote workers who fled expensive job centers for more affordable places return to where they came from. See tech employees moving back from Seattle, back to Seattle from Boise. Okay, that's there you go. And companies enforce in-office policies, making leaving coastal Florida as disaster insurance costs rise. Okay. And then it goes on to say below, many priced out young Americans will move in with their boomer parents, oftentimes along with their own children, creating more three-generation households. Okay, wow, that's a lot of mouths to feed in one household, but I guess it makes it easier for them to afford. And then on the bottom here, it says local governments will focus on housing affordability. More local governments will adopt a land tax value to make homes more affordable and promote building. Like presidential candidates, congressional candidates will focus on housing affordability. They will introduce policies similar to those in cities and states that have made progress, like Minneapolis, Oregon, and California, which are among the places that have ended most single-family zoning. Great. I live in California. The U.S. government will encourage cities and states to build more housing. For instance, they may take more of an active role in financing new construction. Okay. And then it goes on to say here, then it kind of goes on to the bottom. But you guys, these are all predictions. It's no way to tell how things are going to, pan out. This is all on a national level. And things are, not always the same across the board. This is just from Redfin's thing, guys. And I hope you got a little bit of value out of my video today, guys. Please, if you do like what you see here, please like and subscribe. Smash that like button below. Thanks for joining me today. It was short and sweet, and have a great day, guys. And I'll see you in my next video. Jason Isley, Seven Gables Real Estate, guys, here in Orange County. Guys, thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.